Hey guys, welcome to QuadS Trading, and today I'm going to go over the trades of September the 23rd. But before we get started, just a couple things. If you like the trades that we do, I do have a short selling community. Discord channel is in the description below. You can head over there. If you haven't seen my intro video on how we short these trades, subscribe and hit that like button and head over to the very first video that I made that gives you a just brief description of the strategy that I use. But on my Discord, I do have an educational course that goes over all the details you need to short these stocks the way we do it, from the actual strategy, getting all your indicators on your charts, and also the checklist, which is very important because some stocks you will, once you go over the checklist, you're like, big red flag, I'm not trading this one. And then from there, in the Discord server, we do have some stock analysis channels. Essentially, you just were to put, let's say, stock TIBO or stock NVVE, and it pulls all the information off of Yahoo and other websites that we use to analyze the stock. So it's all in one spot. And we also have an awesome community where we just chat there. We kind of say, hey, what do you guys think of this stock? What do you guys think of this stuff? We point out some red flags and we kind of just short things together. So do go into the Discord channel, and I do have right now a introduction price to this educational videos for my strategy. So like I said, go in the Discord channel. But all right, let's get started. So NVVE, this was a beautiful trade. This is a nano float. Nano float essentially for us, it's anything under 1 million shares. So that would be a nano float, and this one I think has about 500,000, 550,000. So essentially those ones there, they like to do a double pump. So once you do a double pump right here like this, you short it right here on the first close below this blue line, and you always cover at the SMA. So this one here, the strategy would have been short here. Now obviously there'd be a little bit of slippage, so you probably would have been like up in here somewhere. But let's just say you had like perfect timing. You close right here and you cover right here. A nice $151 gain. This is on a 100 share trade. I personally do slightly less than 100 because my account is under 2,000. I'm trying to grow my account and see how fast I can do it with a very small account. The beauty of short selling, you can use what the platform that I use, which is Trade Zero, and they allow you to short sell with a smaller account. In the States, you can start with a $2,500 account, but I'm in Canada. I'm a little bit luckier. They actually allow you to do $500 in your account, but I have a roughly $2,000, so I do about 50 shares. That way, if something does happen to go south, I don't blow up my account. So that was a beautiful trade. BDTX. Now I did not do all these trades because my account is smaller and my money did get locked up in some trades. So I did the NVVE, but I did not do this one. But the strategy is the same. So from close, this one here pumped 43%, and then it skyrockets. The MACD crossed to a bearish. You take the first one that closes below the blue line, and you cover at the SMA. Like I said, these patterns happen multiple times a day. Look at that. 147 on 100 shares. Next one, KAVL on the 23rd. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Same thing here. This one from the close of previous day, pumped 221%. See how this one here has a big red candle? This is what I call the big FU. Sometimes it's a lot bigger. This is like a small one. So you could have definitely entered right here. And you would have covered at the SMA, which is right here. Because I work while I trade, I can't see these ones here because it's hard. I can't put an alert for volume where I would like it to be to enter, but this would have been a nice $63 gain. But I entered when it crossed below the blue line, which is right here. So I got a nice little $24 gain here on 100 shares. So that was it for the 24th, sorry, the 23rd. So let's get over to 24th here. 24th, MSS. This one I did not take it just because sometimes because it pumped so much in the aftermarket the day before, I would like it to pump even higher. Because what happens is, people go over here, they get to sleep on it, that kind of stuff. So I like to have like very irrational movements, like pump, then short. I would definitely do that. But this one here, I wasn't feeling it. But like I said, the pattern is it happens almost very often. You would have shorted it right here when it crossed down the blue line, and you would have covered at the SMA. So if you go like this here to this like this, boom, easy 40 bucks. Next one, HC is no other way around, HSCS. This one here is on the 24th. Same thing. See, there's a pump, and see how over here it went, but it did still pump, even though it didn't like stay up here like this. It still pumped. And I'm looking for 20% roughly if it pumped in the aftermarket. If it pumped in the like on the same day, like that morning of, we look for at least 40. So either way, this is a high 120 some percent. So I go to bed. I don't wake up until 6:30, so let's fast forward to roughly 6:30. So up in this position here, when I woke up, it was already below the blue line. I waited, it went up, it retested it, and I shorted right there, right here. And as always, cover the SMA, $121 on 100 shares. That's a beautiful trade. This one here, it's actually one of the very few exceptions where I did not close at the SMA. It's because it's a Chinese stock. Chinese stocks, I close them. Let's say I'm in the pre-market, I close it before the open market, and if I'm in it on the open market, I close it before the aftermarket. And here is a reason why it pumped in the aftermarket, right? However, if you look at your entry, which would have been right here, this one right here, or as you can tell, there's a small little huge max bearish candle over here, so you could have entered right here, but sometimes these are a little bit risky because it could come here and pump a little bit higher, so I don't take much chance on that. Let's say closed it before, it pumps 131%. You could have easily entered right here just because of that max bearish candle, and then from right here to right before close. Or even if you're stock that you're not very that you think a couple red flags, you can close at this orange line, which I show you guys what it is in the description. Sorry, in the course. If you go to my channel, Discord channel, and this is a quick $20 trade. But usually these stocks here, the Chinese ones, I don't do them often. This was here just like there wasn't much going on. I had some capital left to trade, so I just did it. But even if you did trade it right here, even though it did pump, you're down 70 some dollars on 100 shares. If you would have waited, you would have closed out right here after at the SMA, and you would have only been down $2. Not a big deal. So let's go to the 25th. This 25th only had really more or less just one trade. Octo, right? Day before it pumps 82%, and I don't wake up till 6:30. So definitely I would have been awake when this pumped. However, if you look at the MACD here, it does go under the blue line, but the MACD shows very bullish, so I did not trade it, and I waited for it to have another pump and then cross below. So I actually entered right here. And from here to the SMA is a nice $57 on 100 shares. That's not bad at all. On the 26th, I was actually really busy. So I did not take this one here, but you'll see that it's also a very nice one. But it didn't have that second pump that I like to see, and that's why I didn't take it. But if you look over here, 150%. Obviously, I don't trade much in the aftermarket. The only time that I do it is if it pumps in the one and it comes right down. So for this one here, it never crossed down the blue line really quickly. It was, it came down sideways a bit, sideways. If it came up and it would have closed down here, I would have probably taken it. But because this is a nano float, you always got to look for that double pump, which is right here. Pump number one, pump number two. And if you look at that, see, it just closes right at that SMA again. Like I said, I didn't take this trade, but you could have entered here, closed there, 119. If you wake up at 6:30 like I do, you'd have waited for it to retest the blue line, which is this area here. So it closed below right here. Either way, $100 some on 100 shares. This is the one that I did though. This one here, this was a very, very nice one. So See, there's no activity the day before, and it pumps easy 90%. It comes all the way up, bearish on the MACD. This is exactly what I like to see. This one right here closed before the blue line. You go from here all the way to the SMA for 124, but I actually closed right here. Sometimes while I'm working, I actually have to guess where the SMA is going to be. So while the SMA was at 32, I guessed 41, and I closed at 41, which happens to be right at the bottom. So the low 41. That's actually where I closed. And if I didn't hit it here, I would have hit it here anyways. So this from here to right here at 41, 131. This one here, I only did 50 shares, so it was still a pretty nice gain. And then there was one more on this day that I didn't do, but just to kind of show you guys that these patterns happen very often. So this is where, like, I like to see, like, this is like the big FUs right here. So if you didn't see this, this volume here, it would look like this. See how big this candle is compared to this one here? It's huge, right? So that one here would have been an entry right there at 253. So you would have entered right here. Sure, you would have been down $47 on 100 shares, but it goes all the way to this SMA all the time. Well, not all the time. I'm not going to say all the time, but most stocks will go to the SMA. It's just a matter of, is the SMA going to climb to the price, or if the price is going to go down to the SMA. So for example, this one here, the price went down to the SMA right here. Nice little $40. And then Friday, I was actually out of town camping, so I did not trade anything on Friday. But the one trade that did happen on Friday was this one here. And this is a good example of that second pump that I like to see, right? So the first pump is right here. You know, let's go 40, 50%, and then there's a second pump up here, right, to 100%. So you would have entered right here. So like the MACD shows bearish, you definitely don't enter here. You enter at the first one that closes below the blue line, which is right here. Now on Fridays, for some reason, the stocks generally do not go to the SMA. The SMA reaches the price. It could be because a lot of short sellers don't short on Fridays. That's going to be my wild guess. So as you can tell, see this one here, the price is going, sorry, the SMA is going up to the price rather than the price going down to the SMA. So on the Fridays, I close halfway, roughly halfway right here, which is my orange line. So if I would have done this on Friday, which I did not, it would have been a nice little gain of $70 or $69. So that's it for the trades for the week of the September 23rd. If you have any questions, head over to my Discord. That's where I go. I chat with everybody. And then, yeah, so we'll see you in the next one.